Okay, so today is day 80 of going through my old journal article or journal entries, and the quote for today is, "Hold fast to dreams, for if dreams die, life is a broken winged bird that cannot fly." And the question says, "Do you give up on the dreams you have too easily, or do you fight for your dreams with all your heart? What dream do you have that you know you'll never let die?" So if you're following along, just pause the video and take a minute to think about how you feel about this, and I'll tell you what I wrote. I hope it's in. Okay, so what did I write? I said, I feel like there was a similar prompt the other day, so I'll have a similar response on this one. The question assumes that I have dreams. I don't feel like I've ever really had any big dreams or set big goals to give up on. I said, even with my PhD, even though I'm working on accomplishing something that many would see as achieving a goal or fulfilling a dream, it doesn't really feel that way to me. Like, I don't sit around and think about what an accomplishment it will be to finish. It's not even something I really wanted. And I know I'm like coming from a place of like privilege to say that, but I don't set like these big dreams or these big goals. Like, it just kind of fell into place. And like, honestly, I don't even know that like what I may want to do later on in life, that I would even need a PhD to do that. So, but it's just kind of like, I think if I didn't have my job right now, I may not have probably wouldn't have been getting my PhD. I probably honestly would have ended up going to med school. But I feel like since I'm in this place right now, since it's something that would just make sense to do, I'm gonna go ahead and do it and then figure out after that. That's basically how my whole life has been. It's just been one thing after another, and I don't know what I ultimately want to do. And it bothered me for a long time. Even like earlier this year, I was still kind of bothered by it, that I didn't have like a big goal. Like, I felt, and I was starting to feel like, you know, I'm gonna die and not have any impact on the world. And then I was like, well, it doesn't matter, I guess, you know, I just need to live. Like, a bunch of people don't really make like a substantial impact on the world. But then I came across some YouTube videos where, what were they talking about? It was kind of like some new age stuff, but like, I think they were talking about like someone being a light worker. And again, I'm not like fully on board with all of this stuff, but I feel like I do relate to some of these like new age things. But I think that's the point. I think that's why so many people get into them, because some of the stuff they say is relatable to people, so that's why they follow it. But they're talking about, I think, like light workers. And I don't know, like, I don't necessarily believe in all of it, but some things that this lady said like did like kind of give me some solace, because she was basically saying like, the people who they say are like light workers are sent here to like help, you know, help people, help humanity or something like that. But you don't necessarily have to like start a big organization or start a company or, you know, do something big. Like, maybe like your purpose is just to live and do something on a small scale, or like it'll just come to you, like whatever is happening. And that's basically how I've been living my life, is just like, I feel like I'd like to do some good things for the world, but I don't know how exactly I could help the world. And I've always felt a little bit stressed about that. Like, it's getting to, like, I'm getting older and I'm not doing anything, but at the same time, I don't know how to do something or what I would do. So I've just been going day by day. And the fact that she said, like, you don't have to, like, figure out or do something really big. Like, I don't know, even if it's all just made up stuff, it made me feel a little bit better. Like, I'll just keep doing what I'm doing, and maybe something will come out of it, maybe not. I don't know. I guess we'll just see. But anyway, so talking about my PhD and how it's not necessarily something I like wanted, I didn't dream about. I didn't even understand until like embarrassingly late like what a PhD was. I was just raised, you know, to think like you go to school and you become a doctor, you become a lawyer. I didn't realize that like doctors could have a PhD. Like PhD meant that people were doctors outside of medical doctors. That was like an option I could even strive for. And then even when I found that out, like all the doctors that I knew were in academia or like worked for big corporations that I wouldn't have wanted to really work for. And so I didn't think it was something I'm pretty sure I don't want to go into academia, so I didn't think it was anything necessary, but now I'm like, well, why not? Anyway, I said everything just sort of feels like going from one step to the next. I didn't feel proud when I got my master's. I didn't walk at graduation, and I don't plan to walk if I finish my PhD. There are ideas I have to do other things with my life, but there isn't anything I feel like I want to fully commit to. So in that sense, I don't have dreams. I'm just sort of living. I feel like life may feel better with a dream to shoot for. I'm just not ready to commit to one. So again, goes back to the themes with me, like not committing and just jumping from one thing to the next. But I'm glad that I'm finally kind of like settling into being okay with that now. Like, I think that's just how I am, and instead of like trying to change that, that's just who I am. And like I said, there was I said in a post a while back that I came across this TikTok video that made me feel a lot better about that. It was a lady that had ADHD, and she was basically like, it's okay. Like, if you know, she's like, I like doing this, and I like doing this, and I like doing this. She's like, I could make a business out of any of these things, but I don't want to do just this. So it's okay to like be doing all of these things and not just have like the one thing. So yeah, I don't know, like I don't, yeah, it's weird. Like, I feel like I have things that I like, but not necessarily like dreams. I can't envision my life 5 years from now. So I used to try to do those things, you know, where people, like even I made a dream board a while back, and even making that was hard because I'm like, I don't know how I envision my life. And it would stress me out to think, you know, they would have these like worksheets you could find online and stuff, and it'd be like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where do you see yourself in 10 years? And I'm just like, I have no idea. So how do you plan for what you don't know? So yeah, I'm just not the type to like have this big long-term goal or dreams. Like, my whole life is just pretty short-term from one thing to the next, but it hasn't been a bad thing. I've done a lot of things in my life, and I'll probably keep doing a lot of things. So right now it's finishing my PhD, and I do feel, I'm shocked that I even have gotten this far. If it wasn't for my boss, I wouldn't have stuck with this, I'm pretty sure, because it is a long time to be working on one thing, and I see why. I think the statistic is like 50% of people will drop out of a PhD program, and I understand why. Like, I don't know, at least for someone like me, I could understand, but I'm gonna try to finish it through. And I really think part of the reason I'm gonna be able to finish it through, I mean, there's multiple reasons, there's multiple like lucky breaks that I've had that I think are gonna help me finish it. But it's kind of like, now that I've got my routine in a way, I'm going way off track, but now that I've got my routine in a way that I feel like I'm getting good habits and I'm getting a steady routine, even though I'm still working on my PhD, that one thing is constant. I have time now to do other things. So my focus right now is the bodybuilding thing. So that's something, that's something else that I'm focusing on. And then once I finish the bodybuilding thing, I've got ideas of other things that I can do in my free time. So I can still keep working on this one thing consistently, but then also be doing all the other things. And I think that's what I've struggled with my whole life, was like, I couldn't just stick to one thing because I didn't have my life organized enough to where I could be doing like multiple things at one time. And so I think it's helping me that like I'm organized enough to be able to be getting my work done, getting my school done, and able to like do other things to keep me like interested and excited. So yeah, that's it. I don't have a big dream that I will never let die. I just haven't come up with that yet. So maybe eventually, after I've tried out enough things, maybe there'll be like one thing that really stands out that I want to spend like the last 20, 30, hopefully 40 years of my life doing. But for now, I'm not there yet. I'm still looking. So, and that's okay. But yeah, so that's day 80. I'll be back tomorrow with day 81.